and welcome to another episode of geekoutdoors.com. And when I was a kid, as with most kids, I used to love watching cartoons, watching cartoon movies, watching Saturday morning cartoons. And then, as you get older, you kind of change the way that you see cartoons, because when you're little, they're just like something that's really entertaining. And then, when I got into my teenage years, I first saw Japanimation, or anime as it's called now. And that's when I first saw animation was something that can be more than just for entertainment or cartoons. And also, when I was little, I saw other things that were not animation or cartoons, like movies like The Never Ending Story or The Dark Crystal. And so which actually was a little different, because it had a story. There was in some cases a lot of darkness in those movies, even though they were marketed as kids type movies. So as you get older and older, you start seeing how these animation or these kids movies, and some of them, how they have real stories behind them, how they can affect you in a different way. And then I think over time, as you get older, you might see animation or movies like this as something more of artwork, as an art form, something that you'll remember pretty much for the rest of your life. And then you could show those same things to your kids or other people in your family. And so the reason why I tell that story is that's really the way that I feel about this movie called Kubo and the Two Strings. It is an absolutely classic, amazing, beautiful, breathtaking movie. I just want to put that right off the bat. No spoilers there. This is an amazing movie. Now, this movie was actually made by the same company who did the Coraline movie, who did the Box Trolls movie, and who also did a paranormal movie, and it's made by this company called Laika. And as a matter of fact, interesting fact, the director of the movie, his name is Travis Knight. He is also the CEO of the company. He is actually the son of Phil Knight, who is the founder of Nike. So that's kind of a funny fact. So without giving too much away, because I really do want people to watch this movie, the whole movie is about this boy Kubo. And Kubo has a mother who has, I would say, very mystical powers. And Kubo himself inherited these same powers. And there is a story behind how this came about. And it kind of pushes the story forward in terms of the relationship between this boy Kubo, his mother, and then the many people and creatures around him. And so all of it makes sense as you're watching the movie. And then the movie itself, there's two other very important characters, and you saw this in the trailers, one of which is Monkey, who is a really strict, I would say, mother figure type character. And the other is Beetle, who is just basically the big brother or action superhero that you always wanted as a kid. And Beetle is voiced by Matthew McConaughey, and Monkey is voiced by Charlize Theron. And the movie, right from the beginning, it does an incredible job of just bringing you into this world of Kubo. It brings you into this world where you feel like you're part of it right away. And you see what I mean at the beginning. And the way that this movie is done, it's done with a stop motion animation, but it's also combined with CG. It just has a look that is hard to explain. Now if you're seeing Coraline, or you're seeing the Paranormal, or even A Nightmare Before Christmas, I think that was the name of it, you'll understand the type of animation skills that we're seeing here. And another thing that really made this movie something of an event in a way is the fact that the music just pulls you in the same way that the animation does right at the beginning. There is a really strong emotional core to this movie, and you really love the characters that surround him. Okay, so right at the beginning, from the beginning all the way to the end, you are heavily invested in the movie. and in the characters, which, regardless of the movie type, is the type of movie that you want, the type of experience that you want. And then the story itself, the story itself, it's not really something that is going to be completely new. It has a lot of the same elements of somebody who is young, who is finding their own way through life, through a journey with some friends, or compatriots, throughout the movie. And this has been told before. However, the way that is told through this company, Travis Knight and his crew members, the way they tell this story is done so well. It's done with such attention and such care that, you just do not want to leave the theater. And in a lot of ways, you actually want the movie to keep going. And I love the way that they meld the whole dynamic of relationships in this movie. And you see what I mean as you're watching it. And so it's just a very enjoyable thing. And that at the same time, it is something that, it has a lot of sub-stories into it. You could glean a lot of little things out of it, not only the fact that, you do go on your own journey as you're growing older, but it also teaches you about, I would say, integrity. It teaches you a lot about loyalty to the people around you. It also teaches you to, stand up for what you love and what you believe in. And so all of these concepts are something that most of us, regardless of your background or what country you're from, most of us learned that throughout our childhood, and we would like to take that over to an adulthood as well. So there's lots of themes there that I really love, and that's where, this movie, it tackles a lot of different elements, and it does it in a way that they don't, dumb it down. It's not just a kid's movie. Now, in terms of other elements that I like, besides the technical aspects of story and everything else, I just really think that it's a movie that you'll remember. Much in a way that I remember The Jungle Book, the original animated one, or any of the animations that I first saw, like Fist of the North Star or Akira. And I know that's probably not a good example, or even when I was a kid watching Saturday morning cartoons, Robotron, Transformers, Voltron, any of those types of animation or movies, or The Dark Crystal, like I mentioned earlier, or Labyrinth. Those are movies that I remember forever. And I would put Kubo and the Two Strings as one of those that I will definitely remember. Now, out of all the movies that I've seen this year, when it comes to quote-unquote kids types movies, or just movies in general, I would put Kubo and the Two Strings right up there, along with the other movie I saw this year that I love, The Jungle Book, the live CG version. So that is basically my review of Kubo and the Two Strings. I really can't express to you how much, you should watch this movie, how good it is, how much care and attention was taken to this movie, and how, it's not just a kid's movie. This is a movie that can be enjoyed by your whole family, any of your friends, just anybody that you know. Definitely go watch Kubo and the Two Strings. Highly recommend it. And this is a movie that you can watch over and over and over. And I'm confident that, this is the type of movie that when you watch it multiple times, you will get something else different out of it. And maybe even later down the road, when you watch it again, you'll probably see something in that movie that you didn't before. So hats off to Travis Knight and his company, Laika, and the rest of the crew for making this movie. This was an amazing movie. Definitely a must watch. Go check it out. Thanks for watching. And if you had any comments or ideas, leave it in the description area below. And as always, if you did like these videos and you found value in them, be sure to subscribe. And don't forget that I am on Snapchat at Geek Outdoors. We'll see you on another episode. Thanks for checking out this episode. And as always, if you like these videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And for full written content, audio content, and additional geek stuff, head over to geekoutdoors.com. And I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.